Sonja Stephanie Engelbrecht was born on April 4, 1976, and at the time of her disappearance she was a 19-year-old student living with her parents in the Lane district of Munich. She was studying at a vocational school focused on economics and completing an internship at a law firm. Her family describes her as somewhat shy, but she also enjoyed going out on weekends with a close circle of friends. That night of April 10th to 11th, 1995, Sonja had gone out to meet friends, visit Munich clubs, and later walk home. According to her parents, she was not involved in illegal drugs and had a good relationship with her family. On the night of April 10th into April 11th, 1995, Sonja was last seen in Munich around Stiegelmeierplatz. She had left a friend's apartment with a male companion at approximately 2:10 a.m. and walked toward a tram stop. According to eyewitness reports, she walked to a public phone booth at Stiegelmeierplatz intending to call her sister to pick her up. Her companion then boarded a tram and left. After that point, Sonja was never seen again. Her parents initially reported her missing on April 12th. At first, police did not treat her disappearance as particularly suspicious, assuming she might have gone off for a few days. Once her absence persisted, the Munich police reclassified the case. It became a homicide investigation. A special commission, Soko Sonja, was established, comprising homicide detectives and missing person specialists. Investigators questioned more than 80 people in the early phase, exploring all lead possibilities, including Sonja's social life and her nighttime routine. They also investigated potential connections to Munich's nightlife and streetwalks, given the area she was last seen in. Despite these efforts, there were few firm leads. Over the years, media programs like Aktensichen XY, Ungelost brought attention to her case. For decades, Sonja's case remained among Munich's most haunting unsolved mysteries. Her family never gave up, and the story of her disappearance continued to surface in true crime shows, newspapers, and public appeals. Over the years, no body was found, fueling both hope and despair. As technology and methods in forensics evolved, investigators kept parts of the file open, anticipating that advances might one day produce answers. By 2021, renewed interest emerged after a breakthrough in a forest 100 kilometers north of Munich, in the Eichstätt and Kipfenberg area. In summer 2020, a forest worker discovered a human femur in a remote wooded area near Kipfenberg. This find reignited the investigation in a major way. Further analysis confirmed that the bone belonged to Sonja Engelbrecht. The DNA match was made possible by improved forensic technology. Subsequently, more bones and fragments were uncovered. In March 2022, part of a skeleton, including a jawbone with teeth, was recovered in a rocky crevice in that same forest. Investigators suspect that the location where the remains were found may have been where her body was deposited. Following the identification of her remains, the case was reopened as a suspected homicide and possibly sexual crime. In March 2024, police carried out a large DNA operation. More than 80 men who had frequented the forest area were asked to provide DNA samples. Investigators believe the perpetrator may have had a connection to Kipfenberg, since the remains were found in a location that seemed difficult to access and possibly used to conceal a body. Authorities have expressed that the killer may have wrapped the body in tarps or construction material before placing it in the remote crevice. The seriousness of the investigation underscores that Sonja did not simply vanish. She very likely was the victim of a violent crime. Sonja's disappearance and eventual confirmation of death deeply affected her parents, Harry and Ingrid Engelbrecht. Her loss has weighed on their lives for decades, but they have persisted, appearing on televised crime shows, participating in renewed public appeals, and keeping her memory alive. The case has become emblematic in Bavaria, representing unsolved crimes that demand justice even after many years. On the 30th anniversary of her disappearance, police and news outlets reflected on how little was known for so long, and how her case has now shifted with the discovery of her remains. For many, her case remains a painful reminder. The passage of time does not erase the need for answers. As of now, the investigation into Sonja's death is still active. Police continue to explore DNA leads, gather witness information, and search for any missing pieces. They have appealed publicly for anyone with knowledge, especially witnesses from that time or people familiar with the forest near Kipfenberg, to come forward. While her remains have provided some closure, the manner of her death is not yet determined. Authorities have not publicly confirmed a suspect or a motive, and her family continues to hope for justice and understanding. The story of Sonja Engelbrecht remains a call for accountability, remembrance, and truth. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment, because behind every case is a family waiting for answers. Keep sharing their names, keep asking questions. Together, we bring light to the missing and truth to the unknown.